Maybe looking to mix some guys in the offensive line?
Yeah, every job's up for grabs. We're evaluating everything. Every position is open. We're looking to put the most 11 competitive guys on the field, guys that want to compete like crazy. Those are the guys we're looking to put out there.
Talk about the line and what you've seen in the first 3 weeks. How far have they come? I mean, there's a lot of young guys in there to start out with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position because there's 5 guys, and they all have to do the right thing at the right time. So it is a tough position to play. A lot of times it takes some time to, get the chemistry going. And they've been up against some competitive, people that they've been playing with. But we need to feel the urgency here and get a lot more competitive really fast.
Lucas in there last week for the first time. Was that because of what he had been doing in practice?
Yeah, we we're really excited about Lucas coming out of training camp. He's physical, he's big. It took a little bit longer for him to learn everything that he was supposed to do. And the last couple of weeks, he has shown us that he has learned a lot more, and he can handle himself out there. Meaning, when the fronts change or when the 3 techniques lines up, and then he moves to a 1. That changes everything for him. You got to react to it fast. And so that's why he got out there last week, and he did a pretty good job.
Bobby was complimentary of Keola Mahoney. Do you see him factoring?
Keola should. He's a tough guy, very competitive kid. He's another one, but he got here late, in the summertime, so he didn't get a lot of the teaching in the summer. He got dropped right into training camp and things were moving fast, so it's taken him a little bit longer to learn what we're doing and then fit it to what the defense is doing. But I see him coming along, and he could help us because, like I said, he's very competitive.
How difficult is it to be a center at this level, and how do you see that playing out?
Well, it's really hard, on this level because first thing, you touch the ball first and you got to deliver the football to the quarterback. But nowadays the defenses are so complex. There's 3 down, there's 4 down, there's stem. They yell out the cadence at the line of scrimmage, and you got to really focus on our quarterback's cadence. So there's a lot that goes into it. You got to make calls when the fronts change and pressures are coming. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's no doubt.
Garrick, while you have Bobby said none of the quarterbacks has stepped up and separated themselves, but are you seeing improvement from all 4 of them?
They're doing a good job. We just need to do a better job on game day of managing the game. Of really concentrating and focusing for an extended period of time. That we could play really well for a couple of series and then flatline for 2 series, or that position is about who can concentrate and focus the longest. And that's what we've shown, that we could go into the tank for a couple of series and then come back and make a couple of plays. And some of the series are 10-play series. Well, that means 10 straight plays in a row. You have to be completely wired in, and the defense is going to change, and it's going to be tough out there. And so that's what we're struggling with, just finding someone that can concentrate consistently for 4 straight quarters.
It can be the littlest thing too, right? I mean, I'm assuming it could be something major or something really small. So it's the minute details.
Well, there's a lot of small things that happen, that can change everything. The safety's standing outside the hash, 3 yards outside the hash, or he's standing on the hash. Well, that's a totally different defensive structure, and we're talking about just 3 yards difference. So there is a lot that you got to figure out, but they're trained to figure it out. They just got to concentrate, keep their eyes in the right spot, be really disciplined with their technique and disciplined with what they're taught. And they could do it. They just got to, pretty much commit to doing it.
What's the next step for Micky Crum?
Well, he's playing in a position where we got a lot of really good guys. Keith's back healthy. He is 100% now. Cole Hicatini is 100% now. Charles had an ankle sprain a couple of weeks ago, but he's back and he's 100%. So, the competition level has really went up on the practice field at that position. So the first thing he's got to do is meet that competition at practice and outperform and outcompete those guys on the practice field. And then when we get in the game, he's one of the ones also. This is his first year out there with him redshirting last year. He made some critical mistakes in the game, and he knows what to do. It was just a lack of concentration at that time. He would come to the sideline and say, I knew that. So it's just going to, take some time, hopefully, that it's only going to take about 48 hours because we got another game coming up that we got to win. But he just got to react to it and respond to it.
You mentioned the sense of urgency. Are you seeing it out of these guys this week?
Yes, no doubt.
What do you think about Mickey's receiving that he's had going back to the Houston game and just some of just his pass catching ability that he had?
Well, Mickey, I mean, if you watch Mickey's highlight tape from high school, Mickey is a tremendous athlete. He can run, he can jump, he can catch. That's never been, Mickey's issue. He's done that well, but there's a lot more that goes into playing that position, than just running and catching. But he is a quality football player. He's a very valuable player on our football team. We need him to come through. He just got to understand, how important every single second of the game is. And once he understands that, I think he'll be a dominant player.
How do you think the rushing attack has not been more effective?
Yeah, well, last weekend, those guys loaded the box, and it forced us to throw the ball every time. And that's something that we're gonna address this weekend. We have to get more rushing yards. The way you win games is you run the ball, and you force the defensive coordinator to have to defend the run and the pass. So when we talk about mixing it up, we're talking about being able to run it and pass it. That keeps the defensive coordinator off balance. It forces the defensive front to play out of a run stance, because instead of just pass rushing all day, which takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback and the offensive line. So there's no doubt that we understand, and we've been working, that we need to run the football better, and we need to make some adjustments to what we're doing so that we can produce more rushing yards.
Are you better right now, one back, two back?
It matters. At times we've been good in both.
I just want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say Tobridge is 100%?
Tobridge is 100%. He can play. Yeah.
What's the focus like this week in practice?
The focus is real good. We're doing a good job sticking as a team, because we're 0-3, not off to a good start. But we're doing real good staying together as a whole. So.
Was that the message from coach? Is just not let 0-3.
Yeah,
because
it's a lot of adversity, obviously. So the only thing we can do is stick together, practice harder, and just come ready to win out the rest of the season.
How would you rate your performance in these first 3 games?
If I had to go like A, B, all the way to F, or whatever, I'd probably do a C+. I think I can do better. I'm never settled with how I play after a game. I always want to improve somehow, one way or another.
Jay Scott talked the other day about on that pass that he took and ran over the guy, and you came and destroyed the guy on the block. You two kind of exchanged high fives after that, I think, or maybe in the film room or something.
Oh yeah, especially me and LJ. We're both we're from Columbus, basically. So like, that was a good play right there.
You like hitting people, I think, don't you?
Oh, love it.
I was gonna say, is that even more than a catch?
Yeah, I think that. I think blocking, when it comes to tight end, blocking is always first. So yes, that's more than a catch, and then catching will come as the game goes on.
Mickey, when did you kind of start realizing you were going to play tight end and stuff? I mean, kind of looking back through your high school career, I remember seeing you at camp playing quarterback when you were a sophomore.
I think it was my sophomore year. I was probably 215, so yeah, I was playing quarterback then. Junior year, shot 235. Me and my dad was like, we got to find you a position, son. So we were like, all right, we're going to try outside linebacker, tight end. And I went to tight end, or camp for tight end all the time, and that's what I had most success in.
What is, does that help you that you kind of have known to play all these different positions? Is that one thing that's kind of led to your success a little bit?
Yeah, I think so, because I think for playing quarterback and running back and stuff in high school, I can read defenses better playing tight end, like before snaps.
Have you always liked to hit?
Oh, I loved it.
Where did that come from?
My dad, he's always making me. I remember as a little kid, he just always took me out back after games. Like if I wasn't hitting hard enough, he'd make me work even harder, hitting, laying the wood.
Yeah. You got a favorite hit?
Clemson.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I heard him.
Mickey, coach said several times in preseason when he was mentioning, he said, I guess that you needed to kind of improve your conditioning and stuff last year, that you could come out and go hard every practice. I mean, what was last year like for you along those lines, and what did you kind of realize the stuff you needed to do?
Last year, I was out of shape, and then I wasn't getting the playbook down fast enough to be ready to go out there and play my first year. And then after that, taking a step back and watching everybody play, I know the whole playbook. I got the playbook down, and then I did extra stuff outside of the weight room by myself, get my conditioning up. So
when did that realization kind of occur? Like last January or spring
like
ball?
towards the end of spring ball.
Yeah.
Now that Keith's back, now that Cole's back, what's that do to that tight end position, and how do you treat that competition?
It makes the tight ends more of a threat, I think, because we have us three you just mentioned, also Charles. So that's just, we all play a different style, and it brings a lot of competition. So no one wants to slack in practice now because you have someone ready to be there for you, taking your spot. So
What do you kind of think of just that? I think the 4 leading receiving yards guys on the team right now are all freshmen, or yourself a redshirt freshman.
I think it's awesome because it shows what our future is, what our future is now, and having 4 freshmen and top 4 leaders, that's just saying a lot.
Were you surprised that you were able to come out and win the starting job right out of camp?
Yeah, I was surprised, but then again, I wasn't, because I busted my tail all practice or all during camp, just finishing every play, doing all the right things Coach Prino tells me to do.
What you said you did some extra stuff in the weight room. What did that entail? This summer that you were doing that was outside of team stuff?
Outside of team stuff, I was always went on runs. I could find hills around here, running in, just so I can get my conditioning and be ready to play on this level.
Which hill were you running?
It's some park near here. I'm not sure. I had a map quest every time.
Maybe.
It might have been that. It was a big hill.
Yeah.
You were just out there, just you out there by yourself? You just drive out there and run hills?
Just me. When the sun's about to set, I go out there, run half hour, 45 minutes until I couldn't do it anymore.
So could you tell you just had more stamina and stuff going into this year?
Especially coming to summer camp, when I can do all the reps of practice, not coming out and doing 100 some plays at practice and just not being tired, jogging back to the huddle, ready to go again.
You been back to that hill yet?
No, not yet. I haven't had time. I've been resting my body.
Roughly how many times have you seen that Clemson hit?
I know it's Vine famous. I know a lot of people on Vine, but I've seen it 50 plus probably. Cause
were there times maybe that you missed an assignment blocking the ball, or when you go in motion or anything like that? Were there things you're still trying to sort out now?
Yeah, I think I have one play. It's just misunderstanding, not focusing. Pretty much, if I mess up, because I know everything. I know the technique I got, the assignment. It's just focus, mental. When I mess up.
How far do you think the offensive line has come? You work in there and you're in the trenches with them. How far have those guys come in 3 weeks? And being so young, how difficult has it been?
I think they came real far, especially from the beginning of camp, because it was all. We had 2 returning starters, Hughley and Epps, and then I think they took the role as leaders to step up the young guys, to get the young guys prepared, and I think they got a great bond. The line, they got a real good bond with each other.
Are there guys on the team who share your love of hitting? Anybody in particular?
I just hear it a lot, Micky Crum lays the wood. I just like it. I love contact. Yeah. So,
what do you think of when Kyle came in the game against Houston? That's kind of when you sort of picked it up too. He hit you, I think, 3 or 4 times in that 4th quarter, including the touchdown. What did you kind of think of that connection you guys had there to start?
I just thought it was awesome, especially when he came out first play. Threw me I think it was a 25-yard catch or something like that. I was like, we're gonna get this thing rolling, and confidence. Kyle has a lot of confidence. He's real smart. And he has real good pocket presence. He knows how to relax and chill when he's inside the pocket. So I think that gave him a real good opportunity against Houston.